Hey folks, it's Matt once again, and welcome back to another review in my little Jet Li marathon that I'm doing. Get into one of the last ones I'm going to do. It'll be this and then Unleashed, which I really do. My favorite Jet Li films, number one is Kiss of the Dragon, which I already reviewed, and then it would be Unleashed, which will be after this. Fist of Legend. Those I'm going to wait until I get a few more of his movies from overseas because I don't have many. I have Fist of Legend and then a crappy one called Meltdown. But I want to get a few more of those down the road. But this one's about Cradle to the Grave. Directed by the same guy who did Romeo Must Die, Exit Wounds. He also did Doom with The Rock and Carl Urban. And, of course, this movie. I actually like all four of those movies. I reviewed Exit Wounds when I reviewed did the Steven Seagal marathon. I did Romeo Must Die earlier in this mini marathon. And Doom, I enjoyed Doom. I think I have a review for that film up. I know I'm one of the few that enjoys that, but it it's not the definitive Doom movie. But I enjoy Carl Urban, I enjoy The Rock, I enjoy the look of the film, I enjoy the practical effects, I enjoy the score, I love the first-person shooter sequence. It's just that film needed more action. It's a Doom movie. It should have been the action equivalent of even Aliens, Commando, but so it's not without its flaws, but I still enjoy the film. I think it's a good R-rated creature feature flick. And Cradle to the Grave, I think it's a fun popcorn movie. It's not one of the best action films out there by a long shot. I can see if people feel it's generic or by the numbers. But for the most part, it hit all the right notes for me. My issue is the villain, Mark Dacascos, who I love. His Drive from 1997, which I reviewed a few times on this channel, is one of the most underrated action films ever. I think it's one of the best action films of the 90s for such a low budget, $3 million, and all the stuff they could get. It would star Mark Dacascos, Kadeem Hardison, and the late Brittany Murphy. Definitely, if you're a fan of martial arts at all, check out Drive with Mark Dacascos. It's absolutely worth it. If you're a fan of martial arts, you'll love that film. But that guy's the villain in this. He was underused. The fight between him and Jet Li, from what I understand, I read up an interview with Mark Dacascos, that fight was cut down. I don't know who the fuck was the idea. Was it the director or was it Joel Silver, the producer? I don't know. Also, the way that fight's cut amidst other fights, I don't care for that. So that is one of my issues with the film. But other than that, I enjoy the cast of the movie. I enjoy quite a few of the little action set pieces. My favorite is this scene where it cuts between these two. You have DMX driving away from cops in this three-wheeler, and especially this sequence where Jet Li is in this underground fight circuit, fighting in a cage against all these UFC type of guys. And at one point, the fence sort of falls, and Jet Li's fighting these guys. He does this beautiful, bounces off the fence, does a split kick in the air, hits two guys, looks beautiful. This scene here, and then here, it's definitely to me the best action scene in the movie. But I like Jet Li in the flick. I think he's pretty cool. DMX, I never minded. I think for a rapper who became an actor, I don't know what he's been doing lately. I think he was in jail for a while. I don't know if he's still in jail, but I liked him in Exit Wounds, and I thought he did fine here. I liked him. I thought he was perfectly fine. I mean, I definitely think he's better than Ja Rule or Vanilla Ice, Rob Van Winkle himself, or some others. I think he's better than Coolio when he tries to act. But I liked DMX. I think he did fine. I didn't care for the film he did, Never Die Alone. But in the Exit Wounds and this, I thought he did good. Anthony Anderson, I like him as a comedian and actor. And you don't see him a lot nowadays. So I don't know. I know he was in Scream 4. He was not a good fit for that. He was in the first Transformers movie. He was not. His character was not needed in that film. And it's funny because all the Transformer films after, his character never came back, and no one cared. No one thought any different. But I like Anthony Anderson. I think he's pretty funny. Kelly Hugh. You have Tom Arnold. I never minded Tom Arnold. I loved him in True Lies. I think he did a good job here, and I thought he was fun in Edge's Wounds. Gabrielle Union, I think, is beautiful. She's sort of the love interest to DMX, and I liked her as an actress. I think she was in Bad Boys 2. I could be wrong, but I think she was in Bad Boys 2 as Martin Lawrence's sister, who's also sort of the love interest of Will Smith. I think that's her. But I liked her, and again, I think she's beautiful. And the gist of the story, like I said, I mean that cast is one reason why I like the film, and it goes at a good pace. I don't think it got slow. It's R rated. It's not it's PG-13, but they call it R. I mean, there's a moment when Jet Li, when he's fighting in the cage, he breaks a guy's arm. That's really cool. I think there's some good practical work because at the end, Tom Arnold is this weapons dealer, and he's able to get a tank. Him and Anthony Anderson are in the tank, and they blow up a bad guy's helicopter, and it's done practically. So you see the helicopter get blown up, practical explosion. It's refreshing to see that it wasn't too much CGI. And also, it's not too much wire fu, which I appreciate because I'm not the biggest fan of wire fu. Maybe once in a blue moon, a little bit enhanced. But for the most part, this definitely has a lot less wire fu than Romeo Must Die. That's probably why I personally would put this above Romeo Must Die, because again, that was one of my big issues with that is the wire fu stuff, which this is limited in that. And I remember first hearing about this film, seeing the trailer. And the trailer has that song that DMX made specifically for this movie called X Gonna Give It To You, He's Gonna Give It To You. First we're gonna rock, first we're gonna roll, then we're gonna drop, don't let it go. Of course, you would hear that song a lot in all the Deadpool trailers. And when I saw the Deadpool trailer, I'm probably the only guy who thought, Cradle to the Grave! That's a song for Cradle to the Grave. So, everyone else is like, what? But I'm like, did one of them see this movie, or they just remember the song? But I think that trailer is a great trailer. And I think it's one of the better trailers during that time period. Very well edited trailer. So it made me go see this in the theater when it came out in 2003. And I had fun seeing it. And I like that they put that in the movie. They put that during the scene where it cuts between these two. My only issue is they cut the song in the middle of the action scenes. So the rest of it is the score, and the score is very forgettable. It's very John Frizzell and Damon Grease Blackman. Grease? Damon Grease Blackman. That's a hell of a name. But yeah, the score I thought was forgettable. But I like that song. I wish it played through the entire sequence. But I like some of the other songs too. I don't mind the song at the end of the film. And also even the way the film starts, I don't mind the song. I think at the beginning it's Eminem singing the song, "When you go to sleep," I can't remember all the lyrics, but I forget the name of the song at the end of the flick. God, now I'm drawing a blank on this. But I thought the sound. I will say I like the soundtrack in this more than Romeo Must Die. The songs choices. And yeah, I really do enjoy X Gonna Give It To You. I think that's no, I would say that's my favorite DMX song. And the plot very not too complicated. It's DMX, Gabrielle Union, Anthony Anderson, and others. They are jewel thieves, and for the most part, they usually steal from criminals, or they go into this these big places that a lot of crooks put their stash or their jewels or so forth. And at one point at the beginning of the film, they're stealing from that. They're breaking into the vault, and one of the things they're told by this buyer is to steal these black stones, these black diamonds. They do that, but Jet Li is this cop who's listening in. He even goes to the guy they're supposed to sell it to. Nice stunt, nice rig where Jet Li's on the outside of the building and he's hanging and he drops from floor to floor, like letting go and grabbing. And the camera sort of goes by him and pitches all the way to the top, showing the person doing that. I thought that was a cool shot, nice stunt. Jet Li, he's a character who at times will fight someone with one hand, and he has like one hand in his pocket, and he beats the fuck out of this guy. Like, the guy comes at him with a bottle, and Jet Li smashes the bottle and gives this nice kick, fucks the guy up. Goes to meet one of DMX's buddies and beats him up one-handed, one hand in his pocket. But they're able to get away. Jet Li has their diamonds, but it doesn't have the black stones, which I'm looking for. DMX, on the other hand, he does have the black stones, and now everyone's looking for him, including Mark Dacascos, who's the bad guy. Kelly Hu is another. She's working with Mark Dacascos. And later on, you find out the black stones that they deal with some type of plutonium, some type of energy source. And Jet Li wants those, and he had a little bit of history of Mark Dacascos. DMX, on the other hand, later on, they kidnap his daughter, and he wants his daughter back, and then pretty much they have to join up. They talk with Tom Arnold, who's a weapons dealer. Again, I like Tom Arnold. I think he has a. I never minded him. Yeah, he's been in some shitty movies called The Stupids, but a lot of people have been in shitty movies. Anthony Anderson, I think he's fun. I like Anthony Anderson and Tom Arnold at the end credits, them BSing with each other as the credits went by, and I do remember in the theater sitting down and listening to that. It was pretty funny. Just Tom Arnold talking about, oh, I'm gonna make a movie about this, all the stuff that happened here. This is who I'm gonna get the cast. The I forget the characters' names. I'll just call them by their real names. But DMX, you know what I'm gonna get? I'm gonna get Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, yeah, I know Tizam didn't work out, didn't have the right material, but and the Jet Li, who I'm gonna get, I'm gonna get the Donner, and Gabrielle Union, I'm gonna get Oprah, and Anthony Anderson's like fat Oprah or thin Oprah, medium Oprah, and I'm gonna get, that Polak guy who did Rolling Must Die and Exit Wounds. I thought brought a smile into my face. I thought they played off each other well. Makes me wish they kind of had some playoffs with each other earlier in the film, or certain moments throughout the flick. But I think the movie, for the most part, is well shot, well photographed. It kept going at a good pace. I never got bored. It was either something that gave me a chuckle, like Anthony Anderson when he has to pretend to be this exterminator guy to go in and put some smoke bombs in so that DMS can break into this club to see if he can get any info. Tom Arnold when they come up to him and he doesn't have the stuff that he's supposed to have. He's like, these guys came in and they said, do it or I'll kick your ass, you white cracker motherfucker. And then they watch the video. Okay, I gave up easily. Maybe I could have put up more of a fight. But, so, I like the characters. I think some of the action scenes are fun. When DMS gets jumped by these bad guys, Jet Li comes in, fights these guys off. The DMS character does this little flip off the wall, and they both sort of then get chased by these dogs, and they corner these dogs into this vehicle to stop them. Nice little moments that shows Jet Li's martial arts prowess, like when they go see this guy in prison who used to know DMX and tried to get some info, and this guy comes after Jet Li, and Jet Li just does this kick, just while standing, just does this kick across the back of his shoulder that fucks this guy up. And then you get to the finale where you have this hanger where that's one issue I have. The director cuts between all these things where Gabrielle Union is fighting Kelly Hu. At the same time, DMX is fighting this guy who is going after his daughter, and then cut to Jet Li versus Marta Castros, and they should not have done that. Because the DMX fighting this guy for his daughter, that fight was stupid. It wasn't that it was stupid, it was just nothing to it. It was lame, it was forgettable, there was nothing to it. Just do that first. Then they do the Diablo Union, Kelly Hu, which was not much. And then just have the Jet Li Marta Costas fight play off, and don't cut stuff out of the fight. Because the interview I remember reading with Marta Costas, that was one of his big regrets in his career. One was that Drive did not get a theatrical release. The other was his fight with Jet Li got cut down, and then actually what I should do is if I can find it is read that interview because it's kind of heartbreaking and it makes me feel bad for Mark DeCostas. It makes me pissed off at the movie a little bit. All right, here it is. This is Marta Costos. I was happy worked with Joel Silva and Jet Li. The problem was that we choreographed this fight scene, and Corey Yoon did a great job, and Jet Li's a fantastic fighter. We spent over a week on this one fight, but what did the editors and the company do? They cut it to pieces, and then they intercut 2 other fight scenes into it. Any energy we have building up between these 2 guys, mano a mano, is dissipated and washed away when you have 2 other fight scenes going on at the same time. When I saw Jet Li at the New York premiere, I said, Jet, how's our fight? He goes, no comment, and then he hugged me, and that was that. Then I saw the fight scene and it broke my heart. With Crying Freeman not being shown in America, with Drive not being on the big screen in America, and the fight scene with Jet Li that was cut to pieces, those are my 3 heartbreaks in my career. So that really sucks. I don't understand why you would do that. He says the editors and the company, so I guess the studio asked for it, and they had to do it. Why the fuck would you do that? Why would you cut down a fight scene from Jet Li and Marta Costas? That makes no sense to me. It's an action film. You should not be cutting action from an action film. I mean, the bits I see of the fight, I do like, but I want it intact in just one scene, not cut between 2 other fights that really no one gives a shit about, and don't cut shit out of it. So that's one disappointment in the film. I do like the area shot where it's this ring of fire that they fight in. That's one thing I will say Roman Must Die did do better, where at least the fight is just one fight. It's not cut between 2 or 3 other fucking things. So I will say that's one thing Roman Must Die did better, although I do like Marta Costas. I don't mind the guy, Russell Wan, I believe, and Roman Must Die, but it's Marta Costas. But he is underused, and he should have been used better. He definitely should have been used better. But that's my big problem with the film. But other than that, and like some other little nitpicks, I do think it's what you would call a fluff action film. It's, you drinking a cold one, it's a rainy night, you pop it in, and I'm not mad after it. It's like, oh, okay, I had some fun. I got some fun action. I got some chuckles. I like the cast. I think for the most part it's well photographed. I understand what's going on for the most part. Again, I think the action scene they fucked up is the ending. Of course, it's funny that when they blow up the helicopter, like I said, it's a good practical. Marta Costas is in that helicopter, and when it lands, he just falls out. I'm like, how is he fine? The entire fucking helicopter blowing up, there's fire all around, and then when it lands, Marta Costas comes out, and his suit isn't even burned. He doesn't even have a cut on his face or a burn mark. I'm like, come on. So, I mean, yeah, it's not the smartest movie. And it's not the best movie. Again, to me, Kiss of the Dragon is Jet Li's, well, it's my favorite movie. I think it's his best movie. And then Unleashed, I love as well. But I still had a fun time. Fun entertainment time. Time. It's a just sit down with a bowl of popcorn type of movie. Shut your brain off. And it's one of those films that's an easy watch for me. It's an easy watch for me. I did see Jet Li in this cool cage match with a bunch of UFC guys, kicking people left and right. That's definitely my favorite scene in the movie. No repeating myself, but I like the cast. I thought it went at a good pace, and I think it's just fun popcorn entertainment. Yeah, it's definitely an easy sit-down watch for me. But and I do like Jet Li in the film. I really do like it when he's in these fight scenes. Again, I like that it's less wire fu and more down-to-earth fighting, at least compared to Romeo Must Die, so I think that's a big plus for it as well. And like I said, I like the soundtrack to the film. But yeah, I'm just repeating myself right now. But I enjoy Cradle to the Grave. I like the title too, Cradle to the Grave. I think that's a cool title for a movie, for an action film. So yeah, I enjoy this flick. I have fun with the movie. It was a good time, had good memories seeing it at the theater, had good memories when I saw the trailer for the first time, and I can't remember. I think I first saw the trailer in a movie theater. And I'm trying to remember, it must have been another Warner Brothers movie. I don't know. I don't know which it was, but yeah, 2003, that was a time in my life where I would go to the theaters almost every week. So most films in 2003 I saw in the theater. The Matrix sequels, I think Terminator 3, I think the Hulk, like Identity even. I mean, again, that's when I was living in Texas and I was very close to the movie theater, so I would go to the theater every week or almost every week. Every weekend, I should say. I said, oh, what's playing now? Oh, let me go see this. And the prices wasn't too bad at that point. So the first time I saw the trailer, it was in the theater. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. And then I saw it, I'm like, yeah, this is a fun movie. It's a fun. I wouldn't even call it a time waster. I put a little bit above of a time waster. But either way, just my thoughts on Cradle to the Grave. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you later. Bye bye.